Sometimes the road isn't an option. You just gotta ride out in the dirt, wherever it takes you. Up a mountain, past this weird little house, Mordor, across a field where the hum of over 100 horsepower echoes through the undersized cabin. Or you just cruise and recline the seat back a bit, because that last bump you drove over just sent a world of hurt through your lower spine. There are nicer off-roaders. Some of them even come with air conditioning. But I'm a frugal man, and for what I demand out of my vehicle, this was the obvious choice. It's not just good, it's so-so. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Automation. So today we're going to be building a car that I've seen requested in one form or another for quite some time, and that is a small all-wheel drive micro SUV, preferably with some off-road capability. Originally I was shooting for Samurai, but I couldn't find any bodies that I liked the look of, so now we're going for a Jimny. So this build is a little different than what I normally end up doing, simply because I normally focus on sedans and hatchbacks. Those are kind of where I'm normally at. When it comes to building something off-road, I'm really not entirely sure what the best combos are. I'm not even sure what the best combos are in a lot of times for road cars, but this is really out of my comfort zone. Alright, I'm gonna go with corrosion-resistant steel, monocoque. We'll go again with corrosion, maybe AHS. We'll go with AHS. I'm gonna get so much crap for how I'm doing this. Longitudinal, and then we'll do a coil and a coil. That may be the one thing I've gotten right, although I probably also got it wrong. Alright, so it's gonna be a 4-cylinder, nice and tiny. I think we'll give it a aluminum block, give it an overhead cam, and aluminum heads. And we'll play around with VVL. Okay, what size engine do I want? I want this thing to be kind of on the smaller side. Although it doesn't seem like a bigger engine would even fit that well anyway. Oh my gosh, we're maxing it out with a 1.7 liter 4-cylinder. You know what? Let's try a 1 liter engine. Let's see what we can do with a 1 liter. Till I need to upgrade it. Everything here is going to be cast iron. All of this will work fine. Multi-point EFI, and it'll have a standard intake. And we want the thing to run on regular. Alright, we'll do a short cast exhaust, bypass valves, sure. We'll do a high flow 3, no, we'll do a 3-way cat, none, and baffled. Okay, so as we have just about 60 horsepower, and we're running out because of RPM limit, not because of the actual engine stopping to work. Okay, 63 horsepower. Let's see, right now we have about 21.4 on the fuel over there. 21.5, we're at 62. I'd like to get this lower on the cam profile. Okay, so there's about where we peak in fuel efficiency. And that's with 62 horsepower, and still haven't really played with the compression at all. Although it doesn't seem like we're getting much. 64 horsepower. Okay, that for an engine this size, I mean, that's not terrible. Okay, so if we get to 14.6, we have 68 horsepower. And I can get it to 67 with 20.2% fuel efficiency before it starts to die. I think I want to hit at least 100. The RPM limit up, we are... Wow, that really sustains 77 for quite a while. Okay, so that's not terrible. But I would like a little more performance. Alright, let's do a 1.1 liter. Let's see what that'll do. And let's bring this down from the edge of madness. Okay, there's 19. With compression, what do we do? Come on, can we possibly hit 100 horses here? No, we get to 21.8 and 86 horsepower. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. 1.2 liter. Okay, 1.2 liter gets 91 horsepower. You can get it up to 96, but that absolutely, 97, but that absolutely kills our fuel efficiency. I can't get it above 91 if I want to keep that above 20. Well, there's 22.4. So, okay, I wanted to keep it small, but let's make this a let's say a 1.4 liter. All right, a 1.4 liter. Let's go ahead and see what we can get performance-wise, as well as fuel efficiency-wise, out of this. Okay, so there's 100. Man, getting to 100 is tricky if I want to keep good fuel efficiency. Like, even, like, vaguely good fuel efficiency. Okay, that drops us down 0.6 or so. But that gets us above 100, which is kind of where I wanted to be. Let's see, 0.7. No, okay, is there any better fuel efficiency anywhere? Okay, so this is kind of where we're at with 22% on the fuel efficiency. And we're at just 90.09. This is actually a pretty sweet spot. Okay, and if I drop that down, we lose a little bit of horsepower. We lose 4 horsepower if I drop this, but we get another 0.5% of fuel efficiency. So I'm actually gonna go with this, and I'm gonna, yeah, quality's all average. Everything about this car is gonna be decently average. Let's see how it sounds. You know what, just real quick, since that is so flat there, I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up a little further. Okay. That torque has quite a unique curve going on. There, I like this. Okay, yeah, let's design it. So first off, this car, as you saw in the intro, is gonna be called the It's So Jersey. The It's So Jersey. And this is a new brand for this season. Okay, so do I wanna do that? Or do I want to do that? I think this. Yeah, definitely that. I'll tell you one thing I'm excited about with this car is whenever we bring in a new brand, I get to do a whole new design philosophy. Because I've been kind of trying really, well, I've really been trying to make all of the cars, or at least all of the brands, have a consistent design philosophy between all of their cars, or at least some sort of design philosophy. With this, I get to do a new one. A whole new design philosophy. It's wonderful. It's very exciting for me. Okay, so there's not really anything you can adjust here besides the hood being either flat or being a little bit, I don't know, you'd call that a little bezeled, I guess. And then the fenders and the bumper has a couple customizations. But other than that, yeah, that's it. Alright, so we'll just drive straight into this. I mean, kind of works. So what color should this car be? We just did a green car. I mean, the colors end up getting changed a lot, but let's see, we don't do gray and silver very often, but gray and silver are boring. And that's what everyone does nowadays. Like, every car's those colors. Not to say that they're always boring. I mean, I have a gray car and I don't think it's boring, but I don't think it's as fun of a color as it could be. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so what else do we have to work with here? There's another color here. Could this be... That is that. Okay, so this maybe is the roof? That's the roof. Okay, I was gonna make the roof, I think, black plastic. I think that's kind of neat. It's got a little more of an outdoorsy look to it now. Also, those bumpers need to go back to being plastic. When did that happen? Now, I could really do some weird stuff in that grill area. I'm half tempted to put a grill down there. I think that would be interesting. You know, I keep coming back to those, but one of these could be quite interesting. You know, don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. But I don't know if it's the worst thing ever either. What if we flip it? How would that would be weird, I bet. But let's try this. Yeah, I don't know if that's what's up. I don't know if that's really what I want to go for. Actually, you know what? The more I look at it, the more I'm starting to kind of see how that could actually work. Let's try some other things first before I axe this entirely. Because I think depending on how the rest of the front comes together, it could be a decent component. That's not terrible. Let's just keep playing with it. Yeah, let's just keep playing with it and see what happens. Not committing to anything just yet. Because that could look pretty cool too. Okay, let's try something else entirely. I gotta get some new ideas for this thing. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's try some vent pieces down here just to shape it and then put a headlight in or something. Or one of these. This could work. Alright, I'm going to leave that section alone. I'm going to get this up here done so that I actually have something to go off of for how the rest of the car is going to look. Because just trying to go off that bit just isn't working for me. Don't mind that too much. Let's see, especially if we go with that one. What kind of grills can we get in there? I mean, that really changes the look from being like a... I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going for. I don't know if I want this to be kind of like a cute kind of looking off-roader or like rough, really rough looking off-roader, you know? I'm still not quite sure what it is I'm going for. I could go for kind of a rough look toward the top and then soften it as it goes down to the bottom. That could be kind of interesting. Maybe I'll try something like that. If that's the case though, then I need a pair of underlights like these. Okay, how do we like this? Not much. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that design at all. Alright, I'm getting some better ideas though. Okay, this is a good start. Because that's nice and shaped, and it breaks that up and makes it a little less just harsh. Okay, let's try this, but also with a full one of these headlight units. That might be too much. Just potentially a bit too much. Jeez, this is looking very odd. I know that I always say that, and most of the time you guys completely disagree with me, it seems, which I'm honestly thrilled about. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like you just know that it looks bad. And it's not just like uncertainty, it's like kind of confidence, and I'm kind of at that point where I feel pretty confident that this looks bad. It's just this business down here is drawing all the attention down, and it just doesn't look right. So even with that, this is just too much down here. It's just that headlight unit. I think without that, this could be fine. So let's go ahead and replace that with something. There, that kind of works. Now let's see what we can do with the headlights. Now if we go back to this idea. Oh, I love that. Perhaps that would look better in the center than this one. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's play with the common Turismo lights for a second now, shall we? Oh my gosh, I love this. I think these are gonna stick out way too far. Oh wait, they actually don't. Or do we not want that? Because then you can't see the front of the car. I could go with something less intense. Let's see. Oh man, where was this at the beginning? That really sticks out. Okay, yeah, never mind about that one. It's a very weird looking bar. This whole thing is getting kind of weird looking. I think with the bar, it looks too much. It makes too much like a lip thing, and it just makes everything look really weird. All right, we'll say that you can put a bar on it if you buy one, but stock, it's not. This model's not having one. All right, let's see what plates. I imagine this thing isn't gonna be sold in the United States because I don't know. See, I wonder if I could just get away with a giant eye. Not like a legitimate eyeball, but like just a big eye. Alright, let's keep playing with this idea. I don't know if I want to call it yet as that being what we go with, but let's give it a moment. Yeah, that's good enough. Suppose. Let's see, I'm thinking something cheap and rugged, but still kind of modernish, so maybe these. Okay, gas cap. Let's go ahead and get that on. Alright, I'm still not necessarily done with the front. I just haven't quite figured out what exactly I'm gonna do with it yet. For the most part, I'd like it to have somewhat of consistent design philosophy with the front. But at the same time, I could just go with the really basic cop-out answer, which is just literally rip off a Jimny. AKA, put a giant spare tire on here. Let's see, how does that match up size-wise? That's good. Get it over. Now, I think I've tried something like this before, but let's just see again how exactly it. Stop doing that. Okay, so that could look like that. You know, I think I'm gonna do that and put the extra taillights at the bottom, just so that there's doubles. It actually kind of covers all the bases the way it is just right now. Well, I think importantly, these need to match in the type of taillight material they have. That's definitely something that goes quite a long way into making multiple parts look like they actually fit together. I think it just might be too much. I really don't need to have that and that. So the options would then be either get rid of that and have this, which is more of like an actual Jimny is, or I can get rid of those and have that and kind of let it be its own thing, which I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it be its own thing. Oh yeah, look at that, mud flaps. Those were totally accidental, but they actually work on this car. I've been trying to find a body that these would work on forever. Okay, so we got mud flaps, we got a spare tire. That back bumper could still use some attention from something. It still needs an exhaust as well. Okay, so there's that. What else is in here that I could throw on here? Well, I think it needs a 4x4 sticker, of course. Perhaps not on the back, though. Maybe up there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I guess we need to write Jersey. We could move this down here, which will actually put something in that space, and then put the name of the thing there. Or we could do... I want to do it this way, just because it's a little weirder. Yeah, that's not terrible. Alright, let's paint all these slightly different shade of black to the bumper. And then I'll put the name of the car right in this little gap right here. Alright, that should pretty much do it. Yeah, it looks pretty much done to me. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll just have to see how well it actually performs off-road. Hopefully well. I think it has everything on it, right? Gas pump, doorknob, spare tire, it's not even necessary. Exhaust, grille, headlights, taillights, third taillight. Yeah, it's got everything. Alright, 4x4. Manual, 5-speed. So we'll do a manual locker diff. Off-road tires, because this is an off-roader. Alloys. So you know what? It is an off-roader, but it's mainly going to be used on road. So the question is, what should it come with? I think I'm going to give it off-roads. Yeah, why not? Probably not the most popular choice, but I'm going to do it. And let's see if we can get away with a 2-piston and a drum in the rear. Probably not, but we'll give it a shot. Give it an off-road skid tray. Nothing like that elsewhere. We'll give it a bench in the back. And sport interior with a standard CD player. Let's see, let's do electric power steering. It'll get the traction aids and stuff because it is a road car as well, and advanced safety because it's also a road car. You know what, I'm gonna do a couple things actually. I'm gonna go with standard, but I'm also gonna go all the way back to the beginning here, and I'm gonna switch the chassis to ladder. Let's see, so dampers, I mean, twin tube, I guess, I don't know. Off-road sway bars, that makes sense. And we'll go for an off-road preset, but that's definitely gonna need to be changed. Does that look weird? That looks really weird. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of putting a double wishbone on the front, but it lets us get to a sensible ride height. And since most of the time this car is probably just gonna be driving on the road or on a track, I really just, I can't see the point of having such an exclusively off-road planned suspension. I'm just gonna leave it. You know, you can, if you buy one of these, then you can upgrade it yourself. Don't think I'll ever beat 0.8, so I should probably just accept this as about as good as it's ever gonna get. All right, if we drop this down, we can get to it's right about a 12.2 second 0 to 60. No wheel spin. Everything on there's pretty nice. Okay, so there's that. Drivetrain, I think we covered. Okay. Well, in that case, there's the Jersey. Isn't it cute? It's actually kind of a cute looking car. Hopefully, it's anywhere near decent, though. I'm really wanting this to be good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some windshield wipers on it real quick, though. There we go. The It's So Jersey. How cute is it? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. And export this to Beam. Alright guys, so here we are in Beam, and I don't know if it's coming across a little laggy in the recording. I was having some issues with it yesterday, so yes, this is a different day from when I made it. I tried to record it right after, and it just kind of had some issues, and I don't know why. I haven't had them before, but here we are, and it seems to be working a bit better. Hopefully it's not too laggy for you guys, but I want to get this video up, so hopefully we can work through it, and I'll try and have it fixed by next time. So some quick thoughts on here before we go into the driving section. The rims I forgot to change. I think they kind of work with this car, but I might go back and swap those. And, oh, there was one other thing that I forgot about that I was going to mention. Oh, yeah, the spare tire on the back. I sized it to the original tires before I sized them up, so it's a little smaller than the actual tire, which is probably going to bother some people now that I've mentioned it, but I might go back and fix that too. Anyway, so I did drive it a little bit yesterday and got some bearings on it with the footage that didn't really turn out all that well. So I got a basic idea on how it works, and as an off-roader, it's pretty good. Alright, so there's some good trails over there, right where we're facing, but I'm going to go ahead and lock the diff and the drive shaft. Okay, it was already locked. And, also switch it to low gear. I will say this, the low gears on the range box are absolutely tragic, because it gets first gear really fast, and then it just wants to shift to second, but it can't get the RPMs it needs for second, so then it just shifts back down to first. So in the low range, it pretty much stalls on any incline unless you really pulse it, but it can get up some good hills if you do pulse it in first. So see, that wasn't really any trouble for it, but if you just floor it, it's gonna stall, basically. So now we're up on here. I'm gonna switch it back to the high range. So this trail, I mean, it's not the most difficult trail, but it's not exactly the most easy either. It's actually, it feels pretty good for an off-roader, I'm not gonna lie, especially for 100 horsepower. So far, nothing that I've thrown at it has really given it that much issue at all, except for things that are borderline impossible for even the hardest off-roader. It's a little bouncy, so if you get going through here too fast, it's gonna catch something on a bump, but I mean, you're not really buying an off-roader to rally race it through the jungle, so I wouldn't really count that against it. I took it on the road a little bit, and it does have a bit of steering issue on the road, but nothing is present as an issue off-road. It handles fantastically in the dirt. It's honestly, it's a fun little car. It works really well. Alright, hold on. Since we're in the jungle here, I want to give it a more jungle-y color. Maybe a forest green. That probably look pretty good. Let's see how that looks on here. I gotta say, I think this thing works as a budget off-roader. It absolutely works. Plus, I can just imagine the kind of upgrades you could do to this thing to just, you know, make it phenomenal off-road. And I would imagine it's got a pretty low starting price, so there's definitely a pretty high ceiling as far as what you can do to it with the amount of money that you save on, you know, not buying a more expensive off-roader. Okay, I believe up here there's another little hill area that will pose an excellent little test. Yes, right here. Alright, there's a tiny little mud trail that goes up there into this volcano or whatever the heck it is. But let's switch it to low gear and give this a try. So you gotta pulse the first gear. See, if it's just the second, it just kind of gets stuck. But yeah, I mean, that's not an easy climb. Nope, we're in second. Okay, yeah, second's like a death sentence. I could easily have avoided this by just driving it in manual, but I still don't have my controller set up properly for gears where I want them to be, so I'll take care of that. I'm just lazy. But yeah, I mean, for a budget off-roader, this thing can get pretty off-roady. It just kind of looks like a fun car in pretty much any color it's in. I gotta say, I really like the look of this. I wish that bumper was the same tone. I don't know how that happened. If I go back and fix the rims and the rear tire, I'll probably go back and recolor that front bumper as well, because that's starting to bug me a bit. But for now, it's fine. So let's go ahead and see how the Jersey fares against cars meant for entirely different purposes. In 3, 2, 1, go. off to a feels like a pretty solid start. I mean, this car isn't meant to be a speed racer, so let's see just how well I can push it through here. It actually, ooh, it's got some oversteer. Ooh, that felt a little uncontrolled. All right, let's take it through this bit. It likes to slide out. That's just part of that really spongy suspension it's got for the off-road setup, but it seems not to be the worst thing once you're actually expecting it. See, down this straight, it's around this point where the Fatale hit 100, and we get to about 60, although that was a bit of a premature braking. The brakes definitely have no issue. I mean, it's not a really heavy car and not a lot of performance that it has to brake from, but they feel effective compared to what you'd expect for them. Alright. That felt pretty quick. Let's get through here. That was a little wide on that, but I think we're okay. On to the final corner. Again, a little bit of a premature brake. I'm used to driving cars way faster through this area, and with way worse brakes. I'm not quite used to them actually stopping the car when I ask it to. And stop. Alright, now I gotta say, for an off-roader, this thing has done very, very well. The It's So Jersey has completed its lap in 1 minute, 52.6 seconds. You know, I think this is the first car that's actually driven away from that. But anyway, 1 minute, 52.6. That puts it just about 5 or 6 seconds after the Common Turismo Capital. That is not bad for a car primarily designed to be a budget off-roader. Now, that does mean that it is the slowest car on the leaderboard so far, except for the Deluxo Bus. But for a car of this category, I don't think it's in a bad spot. Anyway, I'm going to end this episode here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, this car will be available on the BeamNG repository, but please do allow some time for it to go through the processing phase before it's downloadable. But in the next day or two, the link in the description should be totally functional, and you guys can go and check this car out for yourself. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the Jersey. Would you buy one? What would you do differently? Probably quite a few things, which is fine. I'm not an expert. And, yeah. Again, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.